YouTube decided I'm no longer allowed to use the music in my intro, so now, until I find another one, you're stuck with my voice.
What is up, guys? This is Lintheo, coming at you with kind of an interesting video and one that might ruffle some feathers, but alas, I'm going to do it anyway. If you haven't heard, around the time of this video was released, Dark Strike Fighter, the famous Dark Strike Fighter, has been errated in the OCG to a once per main phase 1 and once per turn effect to do its burn. So that's that's one really key pinnacle point of making this video, as well as Catapult Turtle. Catapult Turtle was errated to a once per turn effect as well. Now this is all because of Pendulum Summoning coming out, because Catapult Turtle would be fucking nuts with the whole Pendulum Summon and then launch. With Dark Strike Fighter as well, it's not clear why they have changed the text on it. It's not clear to me anyway, but it is still something interesting and it warrants discussion as to what it means for Yu-Gi-Oh! So we all know what the ban list is. The ban list is a kind of monthly thing, 3 months for us now, that, you know, it's just a kind of to balance the game with the cards that have come out. People come up with these combos that become busted, or these cards that are released that are busted. Got to put them in line, got to put them in check. It just supposedly makes the game balanced and better to play. But now they have errated one of the most broken cards. You know, it's definitely in that top 15 broken cards, Dark Strike Fighter, to be a once per turn, once per main phase. Why not do it with other cards? Now, Nin posted an interesting video about how Konami don't have to do anything with the ban list. They can just keep racking it up, racking all those monsters, spells and traps, and not touch any of them, and just leave them there to rot. But I'm kind of against that, in the fact that I think that Konami are trying to bring old cards back into the game, because some cards are just not as powerful as they once used to be. For example, one is D-Mock. D-Mock I don't think is as broken as it used to be, because it used to be in a format of Delinquent Duo, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, all these broken cards. Now we don't really have any that could make it broken. In the current state, these cards, some of the cards, well, most of them can't really come back into the game because they are still too broken. But if they are errated to a once per turn effect, if they are errated to kind of round up their effect to not be broken, then why can't they come back? Brian Arc is a ridiculous card, but you make it a once per turn effect. It's a very good card, but does it become broken? I don't really think it does. Butterfly Dagger of Elm. One of the most famous cards for, you know, the Gaia Exodia OTK, you know, because you would have Gaia, you would have Royal Magical Library, and you just have that, and you just keep going, draw. Why not make that a once per turn effect? Then it doesn't become broken, does it? That can come straight off the ban list. There are so many cards that if you errata them, like they've done to Dark Strike Fighter, they can happily come back into the game. Put them at 1, see how it goes. Guarantee you, probably 8 times out of 10, they'll be fine. They can go straight back to 3. Some will be banned again just because there are so many cards in the game that can make something broken. The combos are there to be abused. Whether or not they can be found out or not, it is uncertain. But the fact that they have errated something already, a very powerful card, why can't they do it for others? Now, it might be an interesting thing that a lot of people might be like, we don't... You know, don't go there. It's a slippery slope. And I agree. I think it is a very slippery slope to start getting cards that, you know, might be a difficult one to bring back into the game to try and balance. The thing is, I don't understand why they balance Dark Strike Fighter. And maybe it's because they want to try and bring it back. Maybe because they want to bring out a card that's similar to it. Or maybe they're just trying to reel in some of these really stupid cards. But why would they want to? And what's the point of doing it if they're not going to start bringing cards back? So I think that the reason for like these regular ban lists is, and the shorter time that we actually play in the formats, is so they can bring back these cards, and if they are busted, they're not busted for half a year. So I think that's one reason why they're doing it. But what does this errata mean for the game? What does this errata mean for Yu-Gi-Oh! And those banned cards? I think we're going to start seeing, over time, more cards trickling back because they have had rulings changed and they have had their text errated. I think it's going to be something that is going to catch a lot of people off guard and maybe piss some people off. But I implore you, I'd say stick with it. Like, let's see how this plays out. There are a lot of cards out there that are now old and not as good anymore, but those cards that are busted, change them to a once per turn effect, and I think you'll be quite surprised at how average they are. So the biggest one is kind of Brine Art that springs straight to mind. You make that a once per turn effect and like have the same clause of a once per main phase clause as well, like Dark Strike Fighter. And yes, of course, you put it in Mermail straight away. Yeah, it's great. Like, you know, it's a really good card. You can get that ditch. You can activate those Mermail Atlantean effects. Bouncing one card? Great. It's like, it's not that great. You're going to probably make a plus because you're actually discarding something, getting an effect. But I don't particularly think it's going to actually be as broken as it was just because of that once per turn effect. And that's why I think it can come back. Leave it at 1, probably, yeah, sure. But it's just quite interesting to see that they're actually doing stuff to the banned cards. This only one case to a banned card and one to an unlimited card that no one uses. But they're trying to stop it being broken. And the fact that they're bringing stuff back means that I think they're going to actually do it more now. I think we're going to start seeing more banned cards with errated text. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section below. Do you think that they are doing this as a kind of test to see how it goes? Do you think they're actually going to bring any cards back, or do you just think this is a mere coincidence that they have done it because they're bringing it back in the OCG and they're just trying to refine something? So cheers guys, let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you later.